Hey, so I wanted to go over yesterday's macros, which were amazing. I feel like you're catching on fairly quickly, which this is one of the hugest learning curves in the whole process. And it's not the funnest part of it either. It's honestly the most repetitive and annoying thing to do in the whole process, but it's going to stick with you for a lifetime. So the goal is to never be perfect with eating. It is to just better realize where you're placing bigger portions of fats and your overall portions of some foods, and how we can get in enough protein, staying as close as we can to your calorie goal. So, you definitely want to eat that many calories, especially with the workouts that you're doing, because then you'll have enough energy and fuel and be able to build and repair your muscle more efficiently. So let me look at your macros. Okay, so you got really close to your protein. That's amazing. I always say as long as you get at least 100 grams of protein in a day, you should be good and you should be proud. Definitely try to hit, 115, 120, but what you did was great. 110 is perfect. So 53 grams out of 55 grams of fat, that's awesome. Perfect. And then your carbs were slightly under, but like I said, it's good to go a little bit under because we can't always accurately log everything perfectly. So honestly, this was a great day. Let me actually look at your foods though, because think of it this way: you can fill your calorie bracket with a ton of carbs and fats and very little protein, and of empty non-nutrient dense foods, or you can fill your calorie bracket with more nutrient dense foods and enough protein. So there's a difference with how people fill their calorie brackets, and they may be hitting their calorie marks, but their macros are way off. So that's why I try to teach how to get closer to the macros that you're supposed to be hitting. But nobody's perfect with it, but this is honestly like a perfect day in the books, if you want to call it that. So you're catching on amazingly with what proteins to add in that you choose that are your favorite, because you're not going to love every type of protein dense food, but you want to stick to a few that are your regulars, your dailies, that are leaner, that you can get in more of and more protein of without adding all the fats in as well. And then you do have your times where you can have, higher fat proteins if it fits in your day appropriately. But yeah, I like that you're liking the Fairlife milk. I love Fairlife milk. Cottage cheese is always a good one to have a few times a week to get in a ton of protein. A super good post workout intake. Like real quick, just eating a scoop of cottage cheese. But it's good to switch it up too. I get sick of some of the same stuff, so I start to cycle with another row of favorites for that week or whatever it is every few weeks. So it's good that you're getting in some actual healthy fats like nuts, and without going over your fats. That's amazing. Because actually healthy fats are going to give you a lot of energy and keep you fuller. So if you can learn how to fit those in your actual day without going over your fats, you're going to feel so much better and fuller, which is amazing. But most of the time when people start out, I try not to have them add in actual healthy dense fats, because they just end up going over their fats. So we kind of work our way into that down the road, because you get fats from your protein and carbs as well. So awesome. I mean, this is amazing. You had great food selections. And honestly, if you feel like you're being repetitive with a lot of foods because you don't really know what to eat, you'll learn how to be more creative with it, with your foods, with making them more versatile and making them in different ways, and actually finding different foods with, you know, fats and proteins that you like better, you know, coming across things that you find that you like along the way. So you will have selections and different foods, but sometimes it just takes a while to really get to know your favorites and keep finding new favorites and different ways to get in, you know, proteins and carbs and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, great job. I just wanted to go over this real quick and say congratulations. That was great. So, and during the week, you'll have better days, and then you'll have days that weren't so good. But as long as the majority of your week is pretty close to your macros, you're going to see results. And it's just going to get better and better as each week passes with how good you do. But even the best of the best don't have perfect weeks or days. It's all about your overall week being like 80% where it should be. So by the end of the week, is that how it's looking? Is it more 50% on track, or is it more towards 80%? So you'll get closer to 80% of the week being on track, and that is the overall goal. So if you did have a really bad day with food, that's okay, because you're just going to clean it up the next day and do better. And by the end of the week, looking at it as an overall picture. So I hope that really helped. I'm going to be sending over another training module this week about something different. So last week was about protein and post and pre-workout, which is super important. So send me over the list of your favorite proteins that you have come up with so far in your journey. And that's it. Have a good day.